Good afternoon. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. Well, do you know what? We got away with one there, didn't we? I mean, bloody hell. West Ham won 2-1 away at Kidderminster. And the caption on the thumbnail of this video, it just about says it all, daylight robbery. But before we get into the game, I just want to say that Kidderminster, they were unlucky today. It was really good value for that win up until that sort of cruel last-minute equaliser. I thought for large parts of the game, Kidderminster were a better team. And most West Ham fans, well, I know I was, we were sort of resigned to a loss by the time that we grabbed that equaliser. And then to add salt in the wounds, we scored the winner in exactly the same fashion in injury time at the end of extra time. So I can't think of a more cruel way to lose for them. And you know what, Kidderminster, you boys did your prayer today. You were fantastic. But anyway, on with the show. No John today, as he's out with his mum for dinner. But we have got Gary and Nigel back with us again. 2 shows in 2 days, Nigel.
Yeah, I know. Bloody regular, isn't it?
All right.
You've brought me back on just so I can give a bit of humble pie after all the stick I've been giving you the last few days.
Not so much now. Not so much now. I mean, we've scraped through, haven't we? But
look,
anyway, what we're going to do, because we're on the clock,
stays out. Yeah,
it's staying out.
Until we're out, and then it gets put away.
Yeah,
so it stays out until we're out.
So it was. Do you know what? Before we move on, I was listening to TalkSport the other day, and Ray Parlour was on, and he was talking about an Arsenal Cup run. It was one of the years he was young. It was one of the years where they won the cup, and he was talking about a game where they played non-league opposition in this round, and he said we were terrible and we almost went out. He said, but we went on to win it that year.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, so I can't remember what game it was, but yeah, he was. So look, it can happen, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. But we're going to keep it as brief as possible today because and we want to get to the player ratings because Nigel's on the clock, and we all just want to don't want to ponder on this game too much. So we almost called the starting lineup, didn't we, on last night's show? Apart from Zuma, and it was as follows. You had Areola in goal, Johnson at left back, Flash at right back, Zuma and Diop centre back. So we finally got to see the French triangle. Don't really want to see that again. We had Krusty the Clown and Noble in central midfield. Midfield attacking three of Yarmo, Vlasic, and Benny with Bowen up top. I mean, they were amazing, weren't they? But
they were top draw. Yeah,
they were. Now, like I say, I'm going to touch on a few points from this half, but on the whole, I've not seen such a lazy, arrogant, disjointed West Ham team in quite some time. Really, I mean, keep in mind at Kidderminster that they're 113 places below us in the league or something like that. And they were by far the better team. It was embarrassing how bad we were in that half. And yeah, I know it was windy conditions. It was a crap pitch. But both teams have got to play on it and play in those conditions. But anyway, Kidderminster took the initiative. They carved out 2 very good shooting opportunities for themselves before that goal in the 19th minute. I mean, they could have scored before they scored. Now, it was a deserved goal. But what a mess defensively. Nigel, what were your thoughts on that goal?
Do you know? It was the same goal that Lee Chapman scored in, and that was a cross from the left, which the Kidderminster keeper missed and Chapman headed in. Well, we've got Areola. He's playing for PSG, one of the biggest clubs in Europe, and now he's on loan with West Ham. You can see why he's not playing in first team for PSG and the biggest clubs in Europe, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, you can forgive a keeper one mistake, but that's a bad one too. There was no commanding of the box, and he's tall, isn't he? He looks taller than Fabianski.
He's tall. Yeah. I think the only thing that I would say is I think it was a windy day, and them crosses that they were putting in, they did the same in the second half. It was good tactics. They was putting in these big loopy crosses, weren't they?
But it's hard, Listen, I played.
I know what you mean.
Flats.
I know what you mean.
Right? I played on flat. I can't sit here and go, well, I would have done this and I would have done that. I was rooted to my line, but then again, I was only 5'10", so I was never going to challenge people. So but I knew what my limitations were. If you know that the conditions are like that, stay put. Let your defenders deal with it. In fact, I think he got in the way.
Yeah, he did. It was a mess. I mean, Diop sort of created that mess because it was another late tackle, wasn't it? He'd done 2 or 3.
He got sold short though. Was it Noble or Yarmolenko laid the ball back to him? And I think they sold him short.
I know, but he was. I'll tell you what. You can't really pick out a good player from that first half, but there were some outstandingly bad players in that first half. But we'll get onto that after. What were your thoughts on it, Gal? On that goal?
Well, Listen, exactly the same as you. The first half was awful, and it seemed to get worse as the half went on. I mean, Diop, he started off, the first thing he did from kickoff was hoof the ball down the pitch because he was being shut down by a Kidderminster player out of play, and then he got worse from that point on. He went downhill from that point on.
Oh, no,
he
it was bad.
Awful today, but you could pick out a lot of players who were awful. Especially,
we'll touch on the player ratings after. We won't go too much into plans now. Let's just get through the first half. Nothing else happened for that half, to be honest. Not really. We finished it as bad as we started it. And Moyes, he had to make some changes at half time. Not as many as I'd have liked, but Rice came on for Krusty, and Dawson came on for Diop. Two obvious changes. You could see straight away that Rice was giving us something in the middle, but it still weren't proving quite enough. So on 60 minutes, on comes Souček for Noble. Cresswell came on for Johnson before that final change, a bit of a key change on the 77th minute, which was Fornals for Vlasic. I didn't really see anything of Vlasic in that game. Really, really strange. But we were definitely better in the second half, but it still didn't feel like we were about to score. But then it happened. Rice goes on a beautiful surging run. Fornals threads a great ball through to him. Rice chops inside and he buries it on 90 minutes. Stop going forward, Royce. Knobheads. That's all they keep saying, isn't it? Stop going forward. But anyway, we go into the first half of extra time, and we seem to regress. We weren't creating anything, and then 10 minutes before the end, horror strikes. Kurt Zouma treads on the ball and twists his knee, on his standing leg, and he goes down screaming in agony. It looked fucking bad to me. On comes a physio, and to my amazement, he gets told to play on hobbling on a knee injury for the final 10 minutes. Because we'd used all our subs by that point. What were your thoughts on that, Gary?
I thought it was a really stupid thing to do. I thought if you can't hold out for 10 minutes against a very tired, National League North side, with all these Premier League stars and internationals, surely you can hold out with 10 men against them, can't you? For the last 10 minutes, it's ridiculous. If it does turn out that he is injured, then playing on for 10 minutes has only made that injury worse.
It felt like an unnecessary risk, didn't it? It really did.
Big time. Because he looked hurt, didn't he? And it's another freak injury, but let's hope. I mean, by the end of the game, I think he was running a little bit easier. So I don't think it degraded. I think it slightly improved. But I don't know. The commentator all the way through was even when the ball wasn't going near Zouma, he was commentating. Dion Dublin, the co-commentator, was just commenting on how bad, how uncomfortable he looked when he was running and stuff like that. So I don't know. My hopes are not high. I think he's possibly out for quite a long time.
I know. Well, that's how it looked to me. I mean, I know, Nigel, you felt a little bit differently about that, didn't you? Because I tell you why it is. It's just because you're obsessed with that cup behind you. That's why.
Yeah. The only thing that worried me was that if it had stayed on the pitch right to the end and it got to 10-all in penalties and Zouma's the last one, I think he would have had to have took a penalty.
Yeah.
Really?
Because only the 11 that are left on the pitch can take penalties in the penalty shootout. Right. And I don't know if it got to 10-all and Zouma hadn't took one. I don't think you could go, well, he's got an injury, because they'll say, well, he finished the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that stands. So that was the only thing. But I weren't too concerned about. Yeah. Sometimes they can run it off. We don't know. One of us is going to be right, Nick, and one of us will be wrong. Yesterday.
I know.
I weren't right yesterday.
It was such a massive kick in the nuts for Kidderminster. I mean, look, I think I faced up. I'd already accepted we were going out.
Yeah,
right? I think with 5 minutes to go, I thought of normal time, I thought we're getting nothing out of this game, and it was. I don't know. On Twitter, I was commenting that we were lucky, and I feel a bit dirty taking the 3 points. And a couple of people replied to me and basically said, I can't believe they said this. They said, in years gone by, we would have lost that game. That is the difference with the David Moyes team. And I'm thinking, stop gaslighting me. You know what I mean? Just stop it.
Do you know why that? I will defend you there, girl. I'll tell you why that's rubbish. Because the fact is, in West Ham's history, we've never gone out to a non-league team.
Exactly.
Now, what they're looking at Kidderminster and they're looking at Torquay, they're looking at Wrexham. No. This is National League North, 113 places, amateurs.
That was not an achievement. That was not an achievement today.
And that is what makes it different. When you're up against the Torquays and the Wrexham, they were still full-time pros.
Yeah.
You know, there's a fine line between those down there and that. We're talking about, the bread makers and the boiler coverers and all that type of players. That's what they are. Not being harsh on them because they were outstanding. The stat they threw up, I think, with 5 minutes to go, where they'd had more shots with us, off target and on target, showed up the complete embarrassment of the performance. I tweeted out that if we lose this with 1 minute to go, will be the worst result in the club's history.
It would be. It would have been.
Not in the history of the club. That would have been the worst defeat ever.
It would have been one of the biggest giant killings ever, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it was probably even bigger than Hereford beating Newcastle back in the day.
Sutton beating Coventry, who were cup old, and that's the thing. We would have been, they were already talking 50 years to the day since Hereford beat Newcastle.
Yeah.
Would they talk about this 50 years later? And that's the thing, you think that's what the FA Cup is in 50 years' time. They could have been replaying that goal from Penny, time and time again, as luck would have it. Declan, helped out by Fornals, the 2 substitutes. The one thing is where I've got to show a bit of contrition to Nick and everything is that possibly, my defence of Moyes in the transfer market looks foolish now because obviously, even when he's trying to change the game, he's brought on Declan Rice, isn't he? Yeah. More defensive than attacking. Let's get this right. Yeah, he's not he's not a forward-looking midfielder, I would say, or someone that you would look with the skill to unlock a defence. Well, he's getting better at that, and then he brought in another central defender, didn't he? Yeah. And then when the next 2 subs were Creswell and Souček, so. When he's looking to win the game, he's bringing on defenders, and this is where I'm going. But he's hamstrung, isn't he?
Well, this is where it's again. I find it a little bit more gaslighting from Moyes because his defence of his transfer window was: don't sign a player unless he's improving on the players you've already got.
Absolutely. Well, that wouldn't have been hard,
some of the crap that was out there today.
That wouldn't have been hard, would it?
Yeah, are you telling me there's no defender better than Diop out there that we could buy?
Well,
no,
Diop's having a bad time, isn't he? I still live by the mantra that form is temporary, class is permanent. I'm not saying he's class, but what I'm saying is that there's always the possibility that he could get back to the defender that Mourinho thought was we all thought Man United were going to buy him after.
Look, he won. He's not always been this player.
No,
he was a decent centre back. When he first came in, he was okay. He's completely fucking. He's lost it.
Yeah, he's having a bad time of it, and perhaps perhaps he needs the Ogbonna. I don't know. Perhaps he only looked good with Ogbonna next to him, and this is the thing,
Look, I don't think Zuma was amazing today. Yeah, there was a couple of sloppy passes from Zuma as well. He didn't look. He weren't exactly his normal sort of colossal self. None of them were. Apart from Rice, when Rice came on, and possibly Fornals, who gave us a little bit more. A little bit more. Well, he can pass the ball in that final third, can't he? He's a bit more of an interesting player, but I don't know. I don't think any of those players today, apart from possibly Rice and Fornals, for me, can take it.
Normally in games like that, you look at the stats, and the Premier League team will smash every stat out of the park. Or the bigger team. If they've been knocked out on a cup upset, generally the lower team will have 25% possession, 1 shot on target, 1 shot in the game, and nothing blocked. But the stats actually told the true story that Kidderminster were the better team. We had more of the ball, but they did more of the ball. I mean, there was one point, I think we were still 1-0 down. We lost the ball in their half. They've picked up the ball, passed it about. Not one tackle went in. We backed off. We allowed them to play the ball, and then all of a sudden they're on the edge of our area, and no one put a tackle in.
I don't want to review players yet because we're not at that.
I'm not saying Nigel. To go back to the transfer thing. If we ask you this question again, not that one. What is it? Yeah, no. Lick the hand that feeds you. Did David Moyes fail in the transfer window now? Have you had a bit of a change of heart now after that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing. You do tend to keep the faith. That's all it is. That's a good thing, you know. But you know what? I wasn't expecting. Look, listen, I was expecting that team that we put out today to be more than capable of beating Kidderminster. But it shocked me how shit they were. I mean, I wasn't expecting them to be that bad. I wasn't expecting them to be that bad at all.
But that team out there done all right in Europe. That's the mad thing about it. And whether it was Kidderminster, they're on a good run of form. You know, they're doing well in the league. I think with their games in hand, they've got a chance of automatic promotion. I think they're sitting third already, but they've got games in hand and everything. So, you know, and we got, I suppose, look at that at their grand. They were up for the cup. You know, the bloke beforehand, everything was focused, and rightly so, on Kidderminster. It's one of those times where you realise we are second fiddle in this game. They have to have all the pre-match, everything has to be focused on them, because that is the magic of the cup.
Absolutely.
We all love the magic of the cup, except when you're the, you know,
when you're on the receiving
the tail's stinging you. Yeah, when you're on the receiving end, it is the worst feeling.
We all knew that what had to happen today was our attitude had to be bang on and right.
Yeah.
And you could tell from minute one. And I think Dion Dublin as well, he said something interesting. He said not only have West Ham, he said this during the first half or second half, he said not only have West Ham not been at the races today, he said, I was watching their warm-up. They didn't look like, they looked a bit tired, a bit lethargic and stuff like that. So this is a group of players who have just turned up, not in the right frame of mind. They think all they've got to do is, you know, put on their West Ham shirt, go out on the pitch, and they'll roll the team over. And they got a real rude awakening, all of them, right? And there was some very cowardly performances out there as well. People pulling out of tackles. Ben Rama, I'm looking at you. I mean, you know, it was one time Ben Rama ran forward. He literally got chased back into his own half by their players. You know, and there was at least 3 or 4 occasions where Ben Rama just pulled out of a tackle because he didn't fancy it. As for Crowell, good God, I can now see why he never gets in the first.
He was dreadful. He was dreadful. But I'll tell you, we'll get onto the plans in a minute, because we're going to do the lineup predictors. And like I say, it's not going to be nice.
Well, look, one last thing I'll say, just to bring history into it, because you know what it is. Is in 1983, we smashed Bury 12-1 over 2 legs. Yeah. Gary will remember this.
I was there.
You know, in January or February 1984, we signed Paul Hilton, Bury's centre half.
Yeah.
And if we're going on that analogy, we should be signing their centre half, because that bloke was absolutely outstanding.
He was magnificent.
He was by far the man of the match.
Yeah, I had the same thought in the second half. I was thinking we couldn't go far wrong by bunging them a couple of quid and taking their best defender off them. You know,
it's a shame the window shut, because I would have seriously, because he'd have been a good bloke to have on the bench. That when you was up against,
was it Preston? Are you talking about Preston?
Yes, Preston.
He was superb, wasn't he?
Good player.
Yeah,
he was superb. But no, I completely agree. Let's run through a few of these comments. Afternoon, Paul. Even Irons, we were blessed today. Poor squad found out yet again. Felt for Kidderminster. Players I want out. Crowell, Fredericks, Yarmo, Diop, Vlasic. Declan Rice got us out of jail again. Yep. Christopher Murphy. Yeah, the whole team, from the manager and staff to players, took the game for granted. And it showed. Yeah, I agree. There's John from the restaurant. Yeah, we did make hard work of that, mate. It was tough. Claire, she doesn't want a beer, but she can't stay away. Hello, Claire. What's this? Has he smashed his computer up? Are they talking about me?
Yeah.
No. No, still about me. Hang on. Neil from Down Under. Hi guys from South Australia at 3:33 a.m. on Sunday morning. I have to say, no way we deserve that. And if anyone is wondering about the depth of our squad, just watch that game back. Woeful. I know. And Neil, you was, again, you know, that's not calling you out, but you know, you're quite a positive hammer as well, and you were sort of taking that kind of, you know, have faith in Moyes. He's building slow sort of line yesterday, which is fine. But I think, you know, I think we can all see what the concerns are now. And you got Joan here saying, I don't remember feeling this down after a win. Yeah.
Well, I've just wrote that on my article, and I'll tell you when, and I'll tell you a West Ham certain chairman actually emailed me after the game and said exactly that. I don't remember feeling this down after a win.
Yeah.
And that was after the Hull game when we beat Hull 2-1.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's probably, and we booed them off.
Was that the Sam Allardyce?
That's the same.
Yeah,
Did you not
yeah,
see the
yeah.
picture?
Remember
That's
that.
why I've done
Yeah,
Moyes
yeah.
cup
Yeah.
in the year.
Yeah,
Because not to dig Moyes out, but because it was that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, Bonnie Hammer, one positive from today is that we've finally found Fredericks and Diop's level, and it's somewhere between the 7th and 10th level of English football.
Yeah.
I think you said something. I think it was about Kralnick, but in the first half on WhatsApp, you said Kral's playing for the wrong team.
He had the wrong shirt on. Yeah. Nico Toscani, Declan Rice made the difference between a horrendous game. Yeah, he did, mate. He really did. Right, what we got here? Stephen Spraggs, evening chaps. Never wanted to see that Yarmolenko in a West Ham shirt again. Oh, mate, I know. I feel exactly the same. He was. Oh, especially when he was doing those. He was not charged.
Dive was outrageous.
That was bad. That was embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing.
He's tapped his back.
Scummy thing to do. Really scummy. It'd be banned soon anyway, wouldn't he, Yarmolenko?
Yeah, here's one for you. Who do you want out more, Diop or Brady? Diop out of Brady.
Brady. Always. I'm like, I might throw that in on the podcast on Monday. Diop out.
Yeah.
Let's see if Len joins in.
Right, I'm going to come down. I'm going to go down to the bottom of the chat now because we can't go through them all. So sorry if we're skipping any.
Should we jump into the player ratings in a second?
No, this is a good point from Epic.
Yeah.
How much were them corners pissing you off?
Well, it's clearly because they're a lower league side and they get dominate. They're used to facing eyeballs into the box, right? In swinging corners all day long, all week long. So we thought we'd try something different. I don't know. I think they would have dealt with it if we'd have started putting. I mean, we didn't have the people on there to do the right delivery. Bowen weren't taking calls. At one point, Noble took a corner as well, didn't he?
Yes.
He's sort of thinking, why are you taking a corner? Put the ball back. Give it to someone else.
I know.
These are my notes in the first half that I was saying. I gave up taking notes in the first half because it was so poor. I thought I ain't going to review the game. I'm just going to slaughter them.
Yeah.
Which I've done. But one of my notes was Kidderminster deal well with balls high into the box.
Yeah.
And that is possibly why they did that short corner thing. But at one point, we did a short corner. It ended up on the halfway line because we played it short and then back. And they pressed us. And then it goes back to Rice. And then Rice played it back to Dawson. And then we started building there where you think just throw it fucking into the box and win the second ball.
It was hard work.
We've done our own work on that team. We've watched them. They said in the build-up, we've watched them 7 times. Right, so there should have been no doubt about how they played and where their strengths are and everything else. And that team that we put out there should have done better. So we're going to come to this now, aren't we, Nick? Get your donkey heads ready.
Quick question for Nigel. Paul Towers, Paul T.
Lincoln
here. Hello, Nigel, mate. I don't want to see Yarmo play for us again. Diving like that. Yeah, that's not what we're about. And Crow, unfortunately, showing he's no good. Yeah. Absolutely.
I do like the comment below though.
What this one? He is an old.
Yeah, that's true.
I do Castle Titus Bramble.
I actually feel bad. I think he's that bad. I feel it's like shooting fish in a barrel, isn't it? Because he's been shit for so long now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. But anyway, look, on to player ratings. Nigel, we're going to let you. Let's do it between us again. Go on. Ariola, give us a rating.
All right. See the 4.
4. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Gary?
Yeah, 4. That's good.
He was poor.
Listen, it wasn't just the goal that he flapped at. He flapped at many other crosses as well.
He was poor. Diop?
3.
Well, hang on a minute. But before we do that, because anything below 5...
Oh, right.
It's going to be a lot of them today, I think.
The funny thing is, the first time you did this, I remember texting you saying I thought you were out of order doing that. Yeah. Now I'm like, get the donkey heads out. Fucking put it on the fucking seats.
Right. Okay. What coming like Diop?
That's mate, 3.
I'll tell you what, in the chat,
that is a low rating for him. He couldn't have been any worse.
No, I'll go 4. I'll be kind to him, actually.
In the chat, some people are going 2. Some people are going 2 in the chat.
Diop 2. Yeah. Look, Grant, Diop 2, Diop 2. I'll tell you, we'll go in the middle. Let's go 3. It was bad.
All right,
I don't think he did much right, did he?
He didn't. No.
You know, sorry, it's a. Oh, there you go, mate. Right, Zuma.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was no better than average.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he had his best game.
No.
Okay.
I hope he's not injured.
What about Johnson? I think probably about a 6 for him as well.
Yeah,
He weren't
6,
He was good. He weren't bad, was he?
Yeah.
He was all right. Yeah.
Fredericks had a bit of a mare, I thought.
Well, he set up what should have been the first goal.
Yeah, he's a 4 or 5. Some of his crossing was terrible.
You see that cross that went out the stadium?
Yeah, but Deck had a shot that went out the stadium as well. So,
all right. Okay.
That's about right. 5's about right for him. Yeah.
Right, Krusty. What are we going for?
I thought he was appalling. I thought as a defensive midfielder. As a defensive midfielder, he literally lost every 50-50 he went in for against the Kidderminster players, right?
Yeah.
His passing was woeful. His positioning seemed to be all over the place. I think we now see why he doesn't get in the team, and I'll give him probably one more than Diop. I'll give him a 4.
Yeah.
I was thinking 1 or 2.
You reckon?
No. I don't remember him making a successful pass.
I wouldn't even put a donkey's head on him. I'd just, because that's unfair. Because at least a donkey can kick.
Yeah. All right, let's give Crow a 2. Let's be brutal.
Yeah. Put the 2 right over his head though, so we don't have to look at it.
Yeah. Look, there we go. Look, even the donkey's head don't fit on him. Look, you still see the perm underneath it. Right. We've got half a Noble here. So what we're going to give? I think Nobles was poor today.
1.
He was poor. He can't go 1.
No. I'll tell you what. He was way below average. I thought he had an appalling game, Noble. I mean, what you're looking for in this situation, when everyone's got their heads down, you're looking for a bit of leadership, right? Yeah. A bit of leadership.
That's what he never done it, and that's what annoyed me more, and that's why I'm going 1, because of all the players there, you would think he would be coming out second half and saying to them, like, "You're where West Ham. This is the bloke. All we're told about is about his leadership, his passion. He showed nothing there when we really needed him." And I'm sorry, he's the career ending. I've wrote an article today, and I think he's one of them. I don't want to see him. I don't even want to see him lifting a trophy. Declan Rice should be lifting trophies at the end of the season. Sentimentality out the window. Give him a 1 and fuck him off.
I don't know. Right, before we move on.
Sorry about that. It's not
what are we going to give Noble?
That's how you feel, Nigel.
So come on, what are we going to give Noble?
I'm serious, 1. But I mean, if you just want to give him a bit more,
I can't give him a 1.
I'll tell you what. I'd give him I'd give him, because of the lack of leadership, I'd give him a 3, just like Diop.
Yeah.
What do you think he should get, Nick? What do you think?
I'm happy with that. He was look. Let's not beat around the bush. He was shit, wasn't he, today?
He was terrible. It was terrible.
Right. Now this does feel dirty. Sticking a donkey on Noble's head.
Oh no,
stick it on.
It's not going to make John happy. But
these are the rules. These are the rules, right? So, we don't discriminate. Everyone gets the same thing. Right now, look, I'm going to take exception with what this bloke said here. Right, hang on. Where is it? I don't know whether it is just look, Matt WH Ben Rama 7.
You're joking, Matt. Really?
Was that his shirt number?
Yeah. Ben Rama was just a coward today. He was a coward. He has the heart of a goldfish.
Do you know what he was? He was like, he needs to put a woolly hat on, and this is for old people, because he was more like Benny from Crossroads.
Yeah.
And put him out and do the gardening, That's him. Yeah. He's Benny from Crossroads. He ain't Benny from Algeria. I'll give him a benefit of doubt. He has just done the AFCON. And I know they got knocked out early, but and everything else. So I'll excuse him. And at the end of the day, I'm sure in Algeria they've never had to play a team like Kidderminster, or France or wherever. So I'll benefit of the doubt him, but he ain't getting more than 4.
No, he was poor.
Donkey.
But I was sitting there thinking as well. He's spent a couple of seasons playing in the Championship, so he must have played against some rough and ready teams in the Championship, right?
Definitely. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Go on, Gary. Would you reckon for Ben Rama in terms of the score?
No, I'll go with a 4. I'll go with a 4 for him. I don't think he was as bad as Noble, in that he did actually get into some advanced positions. He just did nothing with the ball, right?
Running out of donkeys here.
Yeah, I know.
Better copy and paste.
Yeah.
There we go.
Vlasic next.
Yeah, go on, Vlasic. He was shit and all.
Well, for someone who was the best player in the Russian league today, he never even made the slightest impact in an attacking sense against National League North Kidderminster Harriers.
Didn't have a rush in him, did he?
Not once. Not once. No.
Hold up. Before I give my thing, how many donkeys have you got left?
No, I can have as many as you want. We can have 11.
That's good then, because I did want one for someone else.
Yeah, go on, have one.
I wanted to make sure, because the next one we're doing is more of a donkey than this one.
That's it. We don't have to rationalise on donkeys. It's fine.
Right,
have as many as you want.
So I'm happy with a 5 for Vlasic. He busied about, but he didn't really damage or do anything.
Yeah. Okay.
He tried. I'll give him that. He tried.
Well, look. What you did see from Vlasic was you saw him tracking back an awful lot.
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah.
You saw nothing in an attacking sense, though.
Nothing.
So he played like half a game. So 5 is probably fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the only reason I'm marking Ben Rama down is because you know what? We know what Ben Rama can do, and he weren't interested today. He just wasn't interested. Whereas Vlasic, I'm not too sure what Vlasic can do yet. He's a bit of an enigma for me. I don't really know what his strengths are. But Ben Rama, we've seen him have a good day. We know what he's capable of.
Well, again, going back to Ben Rama's pass, he had a whale of a time. He filled his boots in the championship against industrial defenders, and he's up against industrial defenders today. Done nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe he's tired. Maybe he's tired. Who knows? But anyway,
so look, we've got. I mean, most people agree. You've got 5s and 4s for Vlasic. So I think that's
Yarmolenko.
People just want to see the donkeys, don't they? That's all it is, right? Yarmolenko next. Go on, Nige. Take it away.
I tell you, if you thought I was being asked giving Noble a 1, I wouldn't even give him 1.
Really? That bad?
Nothing. It was nil par. It was Norway in the bleeding Eurovision Song Contest. And the dive was just topped it all off. That, and that's why I mark him down. Yeah. So I might give him a 2. He now gets nothing for the dive. And
so 0. He's the first player to
0.
The first player to land a 0.
I agree.
Time. He deserves a 0 for cheating. It was such a blatant cheat. No, we don't have that.
Don't even put a donkey's head on him. Leave it there so people can see the 0 underneath his head.
Yeah. I'll put one next to him.
Put it next to him,
yeah.
That's it.
I'll put one next to him, like that. Right, okay. So Bowen.
6.
Yeah, I know he scored the goal, but he weren't no more effective than anyone else.
No, but you need people around you as well.
Yeah. Bowen always buzzes around, and I was thinking in the first half because again they mentioned like not having Antonio and Bowen being ineffective. Well, today Antonio would have been ineffective as well because no one was getting up around him.
Yeah. Right, let's go to the subs. So obviously the first 2, Dawson. What do you want to give Dawson?
6.
Yeah,
I think he was all right, wasn't he? He was all right today.
Dawson always delivers on the haircut and everything. He always delivers.
I mean, he annoyed me as soon as he came on because he won a tackle, got up and fucking launched it up the pitch, didn't he? He just hoofed it, but it's what he does, isn't it? It's what he does.
That's his move, isn't it? That's his move.
That's what he does. So, all right, Declan Rice.
I'll tell you what, today, that whole win and how it materialised was down to him in its entirety. So I'd give him a 10. We've never given anyone a 10 before. I'd give him a 10 for this game.
Yeah, but I'll tell you why. Because you had a team full of players, right? Like we said, I mean, the reason I said yesterday to play kids was because I kind of anticipated that. Well, we've seen it before. You haven't got to be a genius. When you throw players like this, on a pitch away at Kidderminster or teams like that, they don't get themselves up for it. They think they're better than that. And that was my thinking behind throwing a couple of kids on there because do you know what? They might match that sort of enthusiasm that team was going to have. But Declan Rice, he was so professional. He came on. He was just he made them all look. He made them all look too bad.
I'll tell you what he was. He was the fans' representative on the pitch. He showed a passion for the FA Cup that none of the other players on that pitch had. Apart from maybe Fornells and
I'd
maybe
split
Bowen.
the difference with you. Give him a 9 because I was thinking.
I'll go 9. I don't think it's a 10.
I was thinking 8, and right. He shot outside the stadium.
Yeah,
but he didn't cough up with the goal.
Yeah. No,
so let's give him a 9.
I think I know what you're trying to say, Gal. I don't disagree with you. I think he has spared our blushes. Nigel, he is the reason that we didn't just have the biggest embarrassment ever. That's the thing.
No,
You know,
it-
he definitely.
And that
will.
was why I said it. But look, it's a democracy. So
It is,
right.
yeah. So
That's
not
right.
nine is fine. But look, I'm
He's
going
a-
to stick. But he is the man of the match as well.
Man
so
of the match
we'll get
by a
that out of the way
country
now.
mile for us, even though
Get
it
out
should
of the
go
way
to that centre half of theirs.
Or there.
yeah.
Right. Okay. Cresswell.
He was busy, wasn't he?
Yeah, I thought he looked good when he came
6
on.
or 7.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll give him a
Cresswell.
7. Actually, I thought he was effective.
Okay.
He really
Souček,
tried.
I thought Souček was pointless when he came on. I
I
don't think he was any better than Crowell. I'll be
I'll
honest
give
with
him
you.
a
I don't
5.
think he was any better than Crowell.
Well, you're just biased, but I'll give him a 5.
Yeah, give him a 5. I can't have a donkey's head on Souček.
Nah.
I think that's asked for a sub to
Yeah,
be lumped in with the donkeys.
that's fine. That's fine. Okay, and finally, the man who unlocked the door. He found that pass. 4-0.
I'd give him a 7 or an 8 personally. I don't know what Gary's thinking, but I thought he bizzed about.
I'd give him a 7. I thought he was very high quality with the stuff that he did when he came on. He barely wasted a ball, you know.
Yeah.
He was doing things right. Yeah, great, good performance from him. Very solid.
Yeah. Gary, do you want to whiz for a few comments?
Yeah. So we've got a load of score comments in here, but let's go. Hold on, where did you finish? Go on, do you want to do it?
Look, Freshfielder, Sean said, look, Yarmo, double donkey.
Yeah. Move the other donkey in there.
You could do actually. I don't mind that. Yeah.
Move the other donkey in there. No,
There you
0
go,
and a
look at
double
that.
donkey. Superb.
3 donkeys.
Yeah.
3 donkeys. Okay, let's get rid of this anyway. I'm fed up looking at them.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, look, it's mainly just scores in the chat anyway. But
yeah.
Look, in retrospect, give your closing thoughts. We'll try and make this a quick show. Nigel, give us your closing thoughts on today.
You know, yeah, look, I love the FA Cup, everything about it, and generally, I think as long as we make the next round, we can sit back and whatever. I don't want to keep slagging us off. I'd rather say Kidderminster Town Kidderminster areas done their town proud. It's fantastic to see one of my all-time legend heroes sitting in the ground. I thought that was brilliant to see him there. Robert Plant, yeah, you nicked it. Yeah. Robert Plant, yeah. Jep Hurst, I didn't have enough money to buy his autograph. So, So Robert Plant, even if he's a Wolves fan, the man is God to me.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Right, Gary, go on.
I agree with what Nigel said. Kidderminster should be proud and equally proud and gutted today because they really deserve to win. I'm so pleased we've just got through. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you get through, probably, as long as you get through. It's a cup competition. I don't want to dwell on it. It was a disgraceful performance from most of our team, and I wasn't happy. But tomorrow's another day. We've got Watford on Tuesday, so we move on.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I've got it all out my system now already. It's done and dusted. I think we got away with one. I mean, this would have been pretty bad, wouldn't it? If we'd have lost this game, it wouldn't have been nice.
Well, it took 16 players to beat them.
Yeah, I know. Well, and you know what? And one absolute world class player to beat Kidderminster as well.
I think in 1986 we only used 16 players.
Yeah.
The whole season.
Yeah. No, I know. But yeah, so no, I think look, as it turns out, it's job done. I mean, what I will say, look, we did carry on going. We kept on probing, or we had a couple of players that carried on going. We got it over the line. I don't know if I would have fancied penalties. To be honest, I don't know if I'd have fancied penalties. So I think that was probably the only way we was going to win. Yeah. But yeah, job done. We move on. We're in the next round of the FA Cup. Nigel, your cup can stay out. Yeah,
it stays out. It don't get put away until we get knocked out.
Right. Okay. Good. Right, Gary, over to you.
No, we're good. Thank you all for joining. Thanks for all your comments. End of a satisfactory end to a very, very miserable day. But let's hope it gets better. So yeah, we're done. We shall see you next Friday at the Booze Up. Are we doing a hangover tomorrow, Nick?
We're doing a Watford review.
Yeah, we're doing a Watford preview. Yeah, so join us tomorrow night at 7 for a Watford
we are not going to talk about this game anymore either.
We're going to consign this game to the dustbin of history. Right, we're in the 5th round. We're going to move on. And when is the draw? We're
going to have another go at being positive again tomorrow. We're going to have another go.
When is the draw for the 5th round?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
So I quickly find out because normally they were doing it on Mondays, but then on the 3rd round, I think they did it on the Sunday.
Right.
So let's just.
I thought I thought I heard Sunday. I thought
It might be. So, fifth round draw. I'm Googling this. I don't know why I'm using my phone. I could use my computer. Fifth round draw. Fifth round FA Cup. When is the draw and how can I watch it? The FA Cup. Yeah. Fifth round draw. Sunday morning.
there you go. Sunday
right,
morning. So
okay.
we can talk about that. So we can talk about that.
Oh, brilliant.
So it must be before the Leicester Forest game, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Oh, superb. So that's another little ingredient we can talk about in the Hangover Show tomorrow night. So anyway, until then, until next time, thanks for joining us. See you soon and come on, you irons.
Get on you ends.